Hi students, I am Prakash, Academic Advisor, Masterminds. Several students have been sending messages to me and asking me how is it possible to qualify CA Foundation examinations of May or June 2021 attempt with a very minimum preparation. So today I am going to tell you the strategy for the same. Now, first of all, let me start with the subject of accounts. Don't forget that we are attempting a professional examination. So, what will be the challenges in a professional examination when compared to that of normal course? The first challenge is you may not be able to attempt 100% marks in the examination due to various reasons. In some cases, you may not know a particular problem. In some cases, you know all the problems, but you will not be in a position to manage your available time. So within the available time, you may not be able to answer all the questions. So due to any of such reasons, you may not be able to attempt 100% marks. In a professional examination, even if you attempt 80 or 85% marks, is still considered as a good attempt. So you shall change your norms. You shall change your norms. You shall come out of a feeling that so it will be considered as a good attempt only if I write 100 marks. No, it's not like that. So in the examinations of a professional course, even if you are able to write for 80 or 85 marks, it's considered as a reasonably good attempt. There is no doubt about it. That is one change you need to make. Another change is definitely there will be some questions from unexpected areas. So you might have prepared in such a way that you might have eliminated few areas with an assumption that they are unimportant areas and you will not get any questions from those areas. But unfortunately, in case of professional examinations, there are very good chances for the institute to ask questions from such grey areas also. That's why, my dear students, it is always risky to leave few chapters completely. As far as accounts is concerned, never leave a complete chapter. Similarly, never leave a complete model. The only thing you can do is, in each model of each chapter, try to prepare at least one or two problems. Remaining areas, you can take it as choice. Let us imagine, under a particular model, in a particular chapter, there are five problems. Among those five problems, you try to prepare the most advanced one. Generally, among those five problems, the most advanced one will be put at the end. So, from the ending, you try to prepare at least 2 to 3 problems, at least 50% of the problems, and you can take remaining problems as choice. But it's very risky to leave a complete chapter as choice. It is very risky to leave a complete model as choice. Never do that. Now, first of all, as far as accounts is concerned, let me explain you the chapters which can be left completely as choice. Yes, you can completely leave them as choice. The chapters are, one is journal, second one is ledger, third one is subsidiary books, fourth one is cash book, fifth one is trial balance, sixth one is capital and revenue expenditure and receipts, seventh one is contingent assets and liabilities. So totally 7 chapters, my dear students. My dear students, I'm able to identify that you are not noting down. It's very dangerous. Please take down a notebook and pen and write down everything being explained by me, my dear students. So these are totally 7 chapters and you can take these 7 chapters completely as choice. Sir, will there be any risk? No risk at all. No risk at all. Even if you get a particular problem from any of these 7 chapters, I'm confident that you can comfortably handle the same. So you can leave all these 7 chapters as completely choice. Now let us look at the chapters on which we need to pay lot of attention. That means on these chapters, you must have a specialized preparation. These are like high weightage chapters. Majority of the questions in the question paper will be given from these chapters only. These are high weightage chapters. The chapters are, please note down. First one, BRS. You can expect a minimum of 10 marks question in the public exam. Second one is final accounts, which includes fundamentals of final accounts and advanced concepts in final accounts. You can expect minimum of 15 marks from these 2 chapters together. It is of that much important. Non-profit organizations, you can expect a minimum of a 10 marks problem from this chapter. Company accounts, you can expect a minimum of 10 to 15 marks from this chapter. Partnership accounts 1 and 2 put together, you can expect a minimum of 10 to 15 marks from this chapter. That means just by preparing the chapters BRS 10 marks, final accounts 15 marks 25, non-trading 10 marks 35, company accounts 15, so total 50, partnership accounts 15, 65. So just by preparing these 7 chapters, you can comfortably attempt approximately 65 to 70 marks in the public exam. But you need to remember one golden principle in these 7 chapters. In some rare occasions, you may get a very lengthy problem in the public exam from these 7 chapters. Then what you need to do? You are supposed to leave that chapter as choice, my dear students. You are supposed to leave that chapter completely as choice, my dear students. So we should be prepared to handle such kind of situations. So other than that, in all other remaining cases, you can expect at least 60 to 70 marks from these 7 chapters alone, which are very important. What sort of preparation is required in these 7 chapters? You must be thorough with each and every sentence given in masterminds material, that is theory. You must be thorough with each and every problem given in masterminds material. You must be thorough with ICAI study material also. You must be thorough. That means along with masterminds material, you must prepare ICAI study material also. Better, you try to solve each and every problem given in ICAI study material. You solve each and every problem given in ICAI study material. Solve without looking at the solution, my dear students. So these 7 chapters are that much important. Now coming to the next best chapters on which you need to focus. The next best chapters on which you need to focus are, first one is bills of exchange. You can expect minimum of 5 marks. Minimum of 5 marks from this chapter. Depreciation. You can expect a minimum of 5 marks problem from this chapter. Consignment. You can expect a minimum of 5 marks problem from this chapter. Rectification of errors. You can expect a minimum of 5 marks from this chapter. That means if you are thorough with these 4 chapters, you can comfortably attempt at least 20 marks in the public exam. Sir, is it required to prepare study material also in these 4 chapters? No, my dear students, not required. It is highly sufficient if you are thorough with masterminds material with respect to these 4 chapters. But the 7 high weightage chapters I have told you, you must be thorough with ICAI study material also. With respect to these 4 chapters, it is sufficient if you are thorough with masterminds material including theory. That means just by preparing 7 plus 4, 11 chapters, you can comfortably attempt 90 to 95 marks in the public exam. I think it's a great advantage. Now, sir, what about the remaining chapters? Can we take those chapters as choice? No, my dear students. For example, average due date, account current. Average due date. You can expect at least a 5 marks problem from this chapter. Account current. You can expect at least a 5 marks problem from this chapter. Can we take it as choice? No, never. You cannot take them as choice. But you can treat them as last priority chapters. So first priority to high weightage 7 chapters. Second priority to 4 chapters told by me. Least priority to the chapters that I am telling now. That is average due date, account current, inventory valuation, goods sent on seller return basis. From each of these chapters, you can expect a minimum of 5 marks. That means 20 marks. If you prepare these 4 chapters thoroughly, you can expect at least 20 marks. And my dear students, with respect to these 4 chapters, it is highly sufficient for you if you are thorough with Masterminds material, including theory. You need not refer ICAI study material for these chapters. Similarly, accounting and introduction, you can expect a minimum of 4 to 6 marks from this chapter. So these are almost like C category chapters. So 7 chapters, you can take it as choice. 7 chapters, high category, that is A category chapters, for which you need to refer ICAI study material also. Next, B category chapters, 4, that is bills of exchange, depreciation, consignment, rectification of errors. C category chapters, which are least important, but they are important, you cannot take them as choice. There are 5 least important chapters, that is average due date, account current, inventories, goods sent on seller return basis, accounting and introduction. This is the order in which you need to prepare, my dear students. Now, coming to, and remember, why I am insisting so much about accounts? Because accounts is the first exam. Accounts is the first exam you are going to appear in the public exams. For any reason, if you don't prepare well in accounts subject, then its impact will be there on the remaining chapters also. If you don't prepare accounts properly, if you are unable to write your accounts exam properly, then its impact will be there on further exams also. That's why, my dear students, please pay complete attention on accounts subject. Try to gain specialized knowledge in the subject of accounts. The next one is business laws. As far as business laws is concerned, one has to be very careful. Generally, we will be weak in communication skills. As a result, its impact will be there on performance of BCR subject. That's why the only option we have is to work hard, put lot of efforts on business laws, and try to score maximum marks in business laws subject itself. So that's why pay utmost attention on business laws subject. Now, there is one more point which I want to say with respect to accounts. That is, let us assume you are coming from MPC background. I don't think that's a disadvantage. You can even score at least 50 marks in accounts. Since you are coming from MPC background, you try to score only 50, not a problem. Sir, I am coming from BPC. Try to score just 50. There are even high weightage chapters, just by focusing on them, you can comfortably score 50. Now, sir, I came from CEC and MEC background. Then you must score at least 70 in accounts. Your aim should be to score at least 70. But frankly speaking, even an MPC or BPC student can comfortably score 60 in account subject, provided they prepare well, they listen to the classes well. Now, let me jump to business laws again. Now, coming to business laws. First of all, let me explain you the chapters which can be taken as choice. My dear students, as far as law is concerned, the chapters that can be taken as choice are, please note down, First one, meaning and nature of contract. Second one, capacity to contract. Third one, performance of contract. Fourth one, remedies for breach of contract. Yes, you can leave these chapters as choice. Sir, how many marks we can expect from these 4 chapters together? Around 5 to 6 marks, or max of 10 marks. It will not be more than that. But still, you remember, there will be choice in the public exam. So even if you completely leave these 4 chapters as choice, you can hardly leave around 10 marks in the public exam. Sir, is there any other alternative instead of leaving them as choice? Because as you are saying, we can expect around 10 marks from these 4 chapters together. As I have already said, it is definitely a risky aspect to leave the chapters completely as choice. But what you can do is, you try to prepare practical questions in all these 4 chapters also. Don't leave practical questions as choice, and try to prepare at least A category questions in these chapters. Instead of leaving these 4 chapters as choice, better you prepare practical questions completely, and theory questions you prepare at least A category questions. In other words, don't take these chapters completely as choice. You prepare A category theory questions plus all practical questions. Remember, my dear students, you can expect at least 45% of the questions in the public exam coming from practical questions. All the practical questions, including practical questions for self-practice, are very, very, very important from examination point of view. That's why please be thorough with practical questions in all the chapters. And as you know, it's very easy to score marks in practical questions rather than theory. That's why pay utmost attention on practical questions in all the chapters. So, the first, what are the chapters that we can leave it as choice? First one is meaning and nature of contract, capacity to contract, performance of contract, remedies for breach of contract. With respect to these 4 chapters, you just prepare A category theory questions plus all practical questions. The next one, what are the high weightage chapters on which we need to pay utmost attention? One is discharge of contract. Second one, Partnership Act. You can expect 18 to 20 marks from this chapter. Sale of Goods Act. You can expect 16 to 18 marks from this chapter. Companies Act. You can expect a minimum of 12 to 13 marks from this chapter. LLP. You can expect a minimum of 5 marks from this chapter. So these 5 are high weightage chapters. These 5 are high weightage chapters. Just if you prepare these 5 chapters, you can comfortably attempt 45 to 50 marks in the public exam. With respect to these 5 chapters, you try to prepare A category, B category as well as C category theory questions in Masterminds material and all the practical questions given in Masterminds material. Sir, is it required to prepare study material also with respect to these high weightage chapters? No, my dear students, it's not at all required. It is highly sufficient if you prepare Masterminds material alone with respect to law subjects. Now, what are the other subjects? That is, the next best chapters are offer and acceptance. You can expect around 5 marks. Legal object and consideration. You can expect around 5 marks. Free consent 5 marks. Void agreements 5 marks. That is the remaining 4 chapters. With respect to these 4 chapters, the strategy should be you prepare A as well as B category theory questions and all practical questions. For any of the chapters, you need not refer ICA study material. Of course, one fundamental principle with respect to all the subjects is you must be thorough with RTPs of at least 2 recent attempts, MTPs of at least 2 recent attempts. You cannot take them as choice. And that principle, that golden principle will hold good for all the subjects. Now coming to BCR, my dear students. In my opinion, BCR is a very scoring subject if you are good at your schooling. If your school education was good, then your performance will be good at BCR. If your communication skills are good, then you will be good at BCR. So the performance in BCR purely depends on your performance, your earlier performance in English. So your command over English. First of all, let us see the chapters that can be completely taken as choice. First one, sentence and its types. Yes, you can confidently take it as choice. Vocabulary, take it as choice. Sir, can we take it as choice completely? Yes, you can. As far as BCR is concerned, you can completely take it as choice. And the third chapter is basics of writing. These four chapters you can take it as choice for granted. You need not prepare even a single sentence from these chapters. You take them as choice. Now coming to high weightage chapters, which you need to be thorough. You must have a specialized knowledge in these chapters. The first one is active voice, passive voice. Second one, direct indirect speech. You must have a specialized knowledge in these chapters. Third one is report writing, comprehension passages, precise writing, note making, communication, damn sure 10 marks. Writing formal letters, 5 marks. Article writing, 5 marks. Synonyms, antonyms, 5 marks. Idioms, 2 to 3 marks. These are high weightage chapters which you need to focus well. Of course, in idioms you can score only 2 to 3 marks. But the advantage in idioms is it's easy to prepare. With minimum preparation you can score 2 to 3 marks. Why should we lose them? That's why, my dear students, consider these chapters as high weightage chapters and pay specialized attention on these chapters. With respect to these high weightage chapters, is it required to prepare ICAS study material also? No, my dear students, it's not required. It's not required. So, it's not required. You be thorough with masterminds material is highly enough. As far as masterminds material is concerned, you be thorough with theory and questions for classroom discussion. You please be thorough with questions for self-practice. You be thorough with self-practice 1 and 2. In simple words, whatever is given in masterminds material, you try to be thorough with those areas. That's highly enough, my dear students. So this is all with respect to BCR. Now coming to the chapters on which we can pay lesser attention are resume writing, writing formal mails and meetings. With respect to these 3 chapters, your strategy should be please be thorough with questions for classroom discussion, and you can take self-practice questions as choice. But don't leave the chapters completely as choice. Now, in my opinion, students coming from any background can comfortably score very good marks in BCR subject. Of course, students coming from Telugu medium background shall pay more attention on this subject. If you are coming from Telugu medium background, then you try to score more marks in BCR, put a lot of efforts, because for you it's comparatively easy to score good marks in BCR when compared to law. That's why pay a lot of attention on BCR and try to score maximum marks in this subject itself. As far as idioms is concerned, if you feel that even after putting a lot of efforts we are hardly getting 2 marks from that, yes, in such a case you can take idioms as choice. No problem. But never take synonyms and antonyms as choice. You are getting around 4 to 5 marks from this chapter. And my dear students, with respect to synonyms and antonyms and idioms, my advice is every day you allot 15 minutes of time, only 15 minutes of time, and pay special attention on those 2 chapters. That means every day you try to revise synonyms, antonyms and idioms. That will definitely fetch you wonderful marks. So this is all about the descriptive subjects. Now let us quickly jump into MCQ subjects, my dear students. Now, as far as MCQ subjects, the first subject I am going to discuss is mathematics. Now coming to mathematics, the chapters that you can comfortably take them as choice. First one is theory of indices and sets. You can hardly get 1 or 2 marks from this chapter. So if you want, you can take this chapter as choice. If you are coming from a maths background, then why should you take that maths choice? So, if you are coming from maths background, never take any chapter as choice. You try to prepare all the chapters in mathematics because you must score maximum marks from mathematics itself. The next chapter that we can take as choice is matrices. The next chapter is linear inequations. So these are the three chapters which you can comfortably take them as choice. From these three chapters put together, you may get around 5 marks. You must be mentally prepared to lose those 5 marks and focus on the remaining 35 marks only. Now let us see what are the chapters on which we need to pay utmost attention. That is high weightage chapters. First one, time value of money. Pay utmost attention on this chapter. Second one, P&C, that is permutations and combinations. Pay utmost attention on this chapter. Derivatives, utmost attention. Integrations, utmost attention. Equations, utmost attention. Sequence and series, utmost attention. Relations and functions, utmost attention. With respect to these high weightage chapters, you try to prepare each and every MCQ given in Masterminds material. That is MCQs for classroom discussion, MCQs for self-practice 1, MCQs for self-practice 2. You try to prepare each and every question given in Masterminds material. Never take any MCQ as choice. These are high weightage chapters. Sir, with respect to these high weightage chapters, is it required to prepare ICS study material? Definitely not. It's not required. It is sufficient if you are thorough with Masterminds material. Now, what are the next best chapters we need to pay attention? Then the next important chapters are logarithms, sets, ratios and proportions. Only 3 chapters. With respect to these 3 chapters, my advice is, if time permits, you prepare MCQs for classroom discussion, MCQs for self-practice 1 also. If time does not permit, okay, just to prepare MCQs for classroom discussion. Enough. This is how you need to plan your preparation with respect to mathematics. As far as mathematics and statistics and accounts are concerned, you need to practice on paper. Never be in a wrong notion that just by looking at the answer, you can handle the same in the public exam. You must solve the problems on paper. Now, the next subject is reasoning. I don't recommend anyone to take anything as choice in reasoning. Please don't take anything as choice. Try to prepare everything. So, of course, if you feel that you don't have enough time, then I have a strategy for you. For example, you would like to prepare a chapter called series. Okay, in such a case, you first prepare all the MCQs with euro symbol. Euro symbol means they are taken from ICS study material. After that, you prepare all the MCQs of previous examinations which were covered in earlier examinations. You prepare all such MCQs. After that, you prepare all the MCQs with the references of MTPs. So, in each chapter, you first prepare these 3 types of MCQs. After that, if time permits, then focus on remaining MCQs. Similarly, as far as mathematics is concerned, if you feel that you don't have much time to prepare, then the simple thing you need to do is, you first prepare all the MCQs with euro symbol and previous exams references and references of MTPs. You first prepare all such MCQs. Then, if time permits, think of remaining MCQs. You apply the same logic for all the subjects. Same logic will apply for all MCQ subjects. Now coming to statistics. As far as statistics is concerned, every day you have to spend 15 minutes of time to read formulae. If you are thorough with formulae, you can comfortably score wonderful marks in statistics. Never ignore this advice. Same policy will hold good for mathematics also. What you can do is, One day you prepare all the formulas in mathematics. Another day you prepare all the formulas in statistics. That is, on alternative day you prepare all the formulas in maths and stat, my dear students. These two are very, very, very important subjects, very highly scoring subjects, my dear students. Now, as far as statistics is concerned, in all the chapters, don't take even one single MCQ on theory as choice. That means, as far as MCQ on theory is concerned, you try to prepare every MCQ given in masterminds material. Don't take anything as choice. I'm talking about MCQs on theory. Now, coming to high weightage chapters. The chapter with highest weightage, measures of central tendency. You can comfortably score 10 marks from this chapter. Next one is measures of dispersion, 4 to 6 marks. Index numbers, 2 to 3 marks. Statistical description of data, 3 to 6 marks. Probability, 3 to 6 marks. Theoretical distributions, 4 to 7 marks. These are high weightage chapters. With respect to these high weightage chapters, you try to prepare all the MCQs given in masterminds material. MCQs for classroom discussion, MCQs for self-practice 1, MCQs for self-practice 2. You try to prepare all the MCQs given in masterminds material. Sir, is it required to refer ICAI study material with respect to these high weightage chapters? No, it's not required. It's not required. Our masterminds material is highly enough. Now, let us see what are the chapters that we can take them as choice. Regression. Hardly you will lose 2 marks if you leave these chapters choice. Random variables. You will hardly lose 1 mark if you leave these chapters choice. That means just by leaving 2 chapters, you can hardly lose 2 to 3 marks in the public exam. Yes, you can take them as choice. What are the remaining chapters on which you need to pay moderate attention? One is correlation, another one is time series. With respect to these 2 chapters, as far as MCQs on theory is concerned, you prepare everything. As far as MCQs on problems are concerned, you just to prepare MCQs on problems given in CRB, that is MCQs for classroom discussion, and you can leave remaining things as choice, no problem. Now, the next subject is economics. My dear students, whatever I am saying right now, you follow this strategy, and whatever I have said earlier in any of my videos, you please ignore it and follow what I am saying right now. With respect to economics, generally, I don't recommend anyone to take anything as choice in economics because economics is such a scoring subject. You can score wonderful marks in economics. Why shall you take them as choice? That's why, as far as economics is concerned, I don't recommend anyone to take anything as choice. Now, as far as economics is concerned, first of all, let us see what are the chapters that can be taken as choice. First one is theory of demand, second one is theory of supply, third one is demand forecasting. If you leave these 3 chapters as choice, you may lose 3 to 4 marks in the public exam. But instead of leaving them as choice, my advice is you try to prepare at least MCQs for classroom discussion. MCQs for classroom discussion and leave the remaining areas as choice. Alternatively, you try to prepare all the MCQs with euro symbol, all the MCQs with past exams references, all the MCQs with MTP's references in our material. That is also a better strategy you can follow. Now, what are the high weightage chapters in economics? Production and production analysis, theory of cost, markets, price and output determination, business cycles, nature and scope of economics. These are high weightage chapters in economics. Sir, is it required to prepare study material also with respect to high weightage chapters? No, it's not required. Masterminds material is highly enough. Now, what are the remaining chapters we need to pay moderate attention? One is elasticity of demand and another one is theory of consumers behavior. With respect to these chapters, moderate attention is enough. Moderate attention is enough. Now, With respect to these chapters, my recommendation is please be thorough with masterminds material. At least MCQs for classroom discussion, MCQs for self-practice, 1. Remaining things you can take them as choice. Now, BCK. I don't recommend anyone to take anything as choice, just like reasoning. Try to prepare each and every chapter thoroughly in this subject. Please pay special attention on the chapter business organizations. For every attempt, this chapter gets updated. That's why for every attempt, we will provide you updated material. You need to be thorough with respect to this material. That's why you pay utmost attention on this chapter, my dear students. Now, this is with respect to BCK. Now, coming to, let us assume, sir, I am a student coming from MPC background, how shall I crack? If you are coming from MPC background, you try to score minimum of 60 in maths, stat, reasoning, minimum of 60 in economics and BCK, because both are MCQ subjects. Both are MCQ subjects. You can comfortably score 60 in those subjects. You try to score 60 in each of those papers. And even if you score 40 in accounts, even if you score 40 in law, you will get 200. Sir, I am coming from a BPC background. What shall I do? If you are coming from a BPC background, then try to score 60, at least 60 in economics and BCK. Try to score at least 60 in accounts. And even if you score 40 in law, 40 in maths, stat and reasoning, you can comfortably qualify. Sir, I am coming from a CEC background. What shall I do? If you are coming from a CEC background, you try to score at least 60 in accounts, at least 60 in economics and BCK. Even if you score 40 in maths, stat, reasoning, it's okay. Even if you score 40 in law and BCR, it's okay. Sir, I'm coming from an MEC background. What shall I do? Try to score at least 60 in accounts. Try to score at least 60 in economics and BCK. Even if you score 40 in the remaining 2 papers, you will qualify. Sir, I am coming from a Telugu medium background. What shall I do? If you are coming from a Telugu medium background, try to score at least 60 in accounts, because language is not a barrier in accounts. Try to score at least 60 in economics and BCK. Language is not a barrier. It's an MCQ subject. And even if you score 40 in the remaining 2 papers, you will qualify. So, now coming to law BCR, it's very easy to score 40. It's very easy to score 40. You try to score 30 in law, that is 30 out of 60 in law, and try to score 20 in BCR out of 40. You will qualify. You will score around 50 marks. Now coming to maths, stat, reasoning. Everybody has to try to get at least 15 marks in reasoning out of 20. Yes, you can score. You can score at least 15 out of 20 in reasoning. So try to score at least 20 in statistics, 20 out of 40. At least try to score 20 out of 40 in mathematics. Total becomes 55. As far as statistics is concerned, you will be getting 40 marks. Out of that 40 questions, at least 15 questions will be there from theory itself. If you have specialized knowledge in theory, then you can comfortably score those 15 marks, 15 out of 15 in theory. So that's why pay special attention on theory questions in statistics. This is what the strategy you need to follow. So my dear students, this is the latest information. Now, I request all of you to prepare as per this strategy. If you follow this strategy with a very minimum preparation, you can score wonderful marks in the public exam. So my dear students, if you have any doubts, if you want to bring any issue to my notice, please send an SMS to my number 9248733348, and you can even send a mail to me mssprakash2012@gmail.com. And don't forget, we have already developed our own Masterminds online classes app. Please install that app, and there will be numerous number of services which are useful to you. My dear students, I forgot to tell one important point. As far as economics and BCK subjects are concerned, it is good if you read the theory content given in ICAI study material at least once. It's not compulsory, it's only recommendatory. It is good if you are able to do. If your time does not permit, if you are not in a position to understand the language given in ICAI study material, then it's okay, no problem. But if you are capable enough to read, if you have enough time, then try to read the theory content given in ICAI study material at least once. As far as MCQs are concerned, all the MCQs given in ICAI study material, we have already covered in our material. Please keep this point also in your mind. All the best.